All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're talking about an herb that I'm willing to bet you have in your kitchen right now. I mean, it's in your tea, it's in your gum, maybe even your toothpaste. We are getting into the science of peppermint.
You know what I'm talking about. That cool, refreshing burst of flavor. That super clean, invigorating scent. Peppermint is honestly one of the most recognizable and beloved herbs on the entire planet. From holiday treats to a common cup of tea after dinner, it just feels familiar.
But here's the thing. Beyond that great taste and smell, people have been using peppermint for literally thousands of years for its health properties. So how much of that is just old folklore, and how much is actually backed by real modern science? Well, that's the big question we're going to tackle.
We're going to look at the actual research to figure out what this powerful little herb really can and maybe can't do for our bodies and our minds. So, first things first, a quick introduction. The scientific name for peppermint is Mentha caps piperita. And what's interesting is it's not actually its own pure species. It's a hybrid, a cross between watermint and spearmint. And the magic ingredient, the thing that gives it that signature cooling feeling and that minty smell, is a compound called menthol. You're going to want to remember that name because menthol is pretty much the star of this whole show. Okay, and this is a really crucial point to get our heads around before we go any further. Most of the serious scientific studies we're going to look at use concentrated peppermint oil. This is a really potent extract. Peppermint tea, on the other hand, is way milder. It's just an infusion of the leaves. Now, the tea has all the same good stuff, just in a much lower dose. So keep in mind, the tea might offer similar benefits, but in a much gentler way.
All right, let's kick things off with where peppermint really truly shines. Its amazing ability to bring physical comfort and relaxation, especially when it comes to what's going on inside our bodies.
Have you ever reached for a cup of peppermint tea after a really big meal? There's a solid scientific reason that feels so good. You see, animal studies show that peppermint actually relaxes the digestive system. It helps prevent the muscles in your gut from spasming, and those spasms are often what cause all that uncomfortable gas and bloating. And check out this data from a human study. In a trial with 72 people suffering from irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, taking peppermint oil capsules for just 4 weeks cut their symptoms down by a whopping 40%. I mean, that is a huge deal for a condition that can be so tough to handle.
So what about pain that's a little higher up? Well, that menthol we talked about also acts as a muscle relaxant and a pain reliever. When you put it on your skin, it creates this cooling sensation and actually increases blood flow to that spot. In fact, one study found that just applying peppermint oil to the forehead and temples was enough to significantly reduce migraine pain.
And that muscle-relaxing power keeps on going. This one's pretty remarkable. A study with 127 women who had painful periods found that peppermint extract capsules were just as effective as a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug at reducing both the intensity and the duration of cramps. Wow!
So we know it's a powerful soother, but it turns out peppermint also has some seriously impressive protective and cleansing abilities.
I mean, there's a very clear reason why peppermint is the #1 flavor in pretty much all toothpaste and mouthwash, right? But it's not just about covering up bad breath. Peppermint has antibacterial properties that go to work killing the actual germs that cause dental plaque. And yeah, studies have confirmed it's super effective.
You know when you have a cold and just breathing in the steam from a hot drink feels amazing? Well, with peppermint tea, you get a little something extra. While the tea itself hasn't been studied for this, we do know that its key compound, menthol, improves the perception of airflow. It basically tricks your brain into thinking you're breathing more easily, which is such a welcome relief when you're all stuffed up. And on a microscopic level, peppermint oil is a tiny but mighty defender. Lab studies have shown that it can kill and stop the growth of several really nasty foodborne bacteria. We're talking about things like E. coli, listeria, and salmonella. It's a natural powerhouse against some pretty serious germs.
So we've seen how peppermint can soothe and defend, but it can also give you a bit of a boost, affecting your energy, your focus, and, well, even your ability to just chill out.
Feeling that afternoon slump coming on? Instead of reaching for more coffee, what if just the scent of peppermint could help? One study found that using peppermint oil for aromatherapy was actually effective at reducing fatigue. It seems the natural compounds have this stimulating effect that can kind of help wake you up.
And that boost isn't just for your body, it extends to your brain too. In one small study, young adults who took peppermint oil capsules performed way better on cognitive tests. And in another study, found that simply smelling peppermint oil improved memory and alertness. So it seems to help you sharpen your focus.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a total contradiction, right? It boosts your energy, but it also helps you sleep? Well, it's all about context. As a completely caffeine-free drink, peppermint tea is a perfect choice for the evening. Its muscle relaxant properties, the same ones we talked about earlier, can help your body let go of tension and unwind after a long day.
So, after looking at all this cool science, how can we actually bring some of these benefits into our daily lives?
Well, it really could not be any simpler. I mean, tea bags are great and all, but making tea from fresh leaves is just a whole other level. All you do is boil some water, add a handful of torn up leaves, cover it, and let it steep for about 5 minutes. That's it. You get all that amazing flavor and all those aromatic benefits right there in your cup.
And honestly, that quote just sums it all up perfectly. Doesn't matter if you need a little boost in the morning, some focus in the afternoon, something to soothe your stomach after dinner, or a way to relax before bed, peppermint tea just fits the bill. It's simple, it's healthy, and it's so versatile. So, from soothing your stomach to sharpening your mind and freshening your breath, the science behind peppermint's benefits is actually pretty compelling. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this super common, everyday herb actually be one of the most versatile tools we have in our wellness kit? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.